The Tokyo 2020 Olympics is finally here. After a year's delay because of the pandemic, the Games are officially scheduled to take place from July 23rd to August 8th. It's only a few days away from one of the most exciting sporting events in the world. This is the second time that Tokyo has hosted the Olympic Games, and the city has also hosted 2 Winter Games before. But this time, the Games will be special. Because of safety concerns, most games will be held behind closed doors with no spectators. This doesn't mean that you can't watch the games online. I know there are lots of sports fans out there like me who are always excited about the Olympics every 4 years. So in this video, I'll introduce some official ceremonies of the Tokyo Olympics, and I'll also let you know how you can be a part of the games virtually. Without further ado, let's get started. Let's talk about the Olympic Stadium and the infrastructures. Tokyo was the host city for the 1964 Summer Olympics. Many games and the opening and closing ceremonies in 1964 were held in the National Stadium, Kokuritsu Kyogijo. The National Stadium was demolished in 2015 and then renovated to be a new stadium for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. This time, the new stadium will host the opening and closing ceremonies and track and field events. The venue capacity allows up to 68,000 people. The new National Stadium is only one of the many venues. Actually, there will be 42 competition venues for this year's Olympics. Most of these venues are located in Tokyo, and there are a few in other cities. For example, the Tokyo Aquatic Center will host the swimming and diving events, and the Ariake Gymnastics Center will host all kinds of gymnastic events. I have added a list of different competitions and their corresponding venues in the description box down below for you to check out. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Olympic Torch Relay. The Torch Relay for Tokyo Olympics started on March 12, 2020, and it will end on July 23, 2021. The torch was first lit in Greece, and it was first handed over to Anna Korakaki, who is the first ever woman torchbearer in history. The Japanese leg began in Fukuyama and will end in the new National Stadium, where the opening and the closing ceremonies will be held. The Greece leg, apart from the traditional lighting ceremony, was cancelled because of COVID, and the Japanese leg had begun and will end despite the uncertainty of COVID. I had the chance to watch the torch relay in Kawagoe. It was quite a special event with many precautions taken, and here are some clips from that day. Okay, let's talk about the Olympic opening ceremony. The Olympic opening ceremony kicks off at 8 p.m. to 11:30 Japan time on July 23, 2021. The overall concepts of the ceremony are peace, coexistence, reconstruction, future, Japan and Tokyo, athletes, involvement, and excitement. All these concepts are meant to create a special and unforgivable experience for its participants and audience. As always, the ceremony will begin with raising the host nation's flag and the performance of the nation's national anthem. What follows is the rise of the Olympic flag and the performance of the Olympic anthem. As a chance to introduce the host country's culture to a worldwide audience, we still don't know for sure who will be performing at the ceremony. But what we can expect is famous and influential Japanese singers, dancers, and performers who will bring us a unique kind of Japanese experience. Then we've got the Parade of Nations. I know it might seem like a lengthy and repetitive process for some people, but I do love seeing all the athletes who will be competing in the games march into the stadium. The parade has a strict order to respect tradition. As the first country who ever hosted Olympics in both ancient and modern times, Greece always comes first. The refugee Olympic team comes second. The team that represents the host country comes last. Other countries will enter in alphabetical order according to the host country's language, so Japanese. So how to watch the Tokyo Olympics games online? Almost every country in the world will televise and present the Tokyo Olympics. This means that you can easily watch the games of your choice by opening your TV. In the case you do not have a TV, the Olympics broadcasting services will deliver live videos to online sports channels. Different broadcasting companies and channels have acquired the official rights to broadcast the Olympics. In case you're watching it from Japan, the Japan Consortium has the official right to broadcast the event. Other online streaming options include NBC Olympics, Hulu, Amazon Fire, and more. If you don't want to subscribe to any of these channels, Peacock is offering free live streaming every morning. Peacock has promised to stream popular games like the women's gymnastics at every stage. Then let's talk about the Tokyo Olympic souvenirs. There are a lot of souvenirs available. For example, you can find fashion items like clothing, accessories, sport equipment, toys, books, traditional Japanese crafts, and more. What I find really special about Tokyo's souvenir offering and how it differentiates from other Olympics is definitely its traditional crafts collection. This collection contains 104 items representing the 47 Japanese prefectures. These crafts are meaningful souvenirs not only in terms of the Olympic Games but also culture-wise. You can find items that embeds Japanese culture like daruma dolls and folding fans with a special Olympics design. Because of the pandemic as well, there are also face masks available for purchase. These masks are made of Yuzen technique, which is the Japanese silk dye technique. Even though the event was unfortunately postponed, the mask creation at least symbolizes the unique experience of the Tokyo Olympic Games. If you want to cheer for the games, a moving cap, a hachimaki, or a headband would be a great option. Of course, you can always go for something more traditional Olympic-wise and get something like a memorial medallion. So where do you buy the Tokyo Olympic souvenirs? While some of the shops are now open in person for customers, there's an official online store available to deliver souvenirs everywhere around the world. I'll make sure to put the online store URL in the description box down below. Even though we're going through the unfortunate situation with COVID, I'm sure Tokyo Olympics will find its way to be safe, exciting, and interactive. Once you open up your channel to start watching a game, you'll find the spirit right away. After all, we only get to enjoy it every 4 years, and history will for sure remember the Olympics this time not only for the sake of the sport itself, but also for the toughness that we've been fighting with the pandemic. Which of the Olympic Games are you planning to watch? If you have any questions, make sure to put them in the comment section down below. We have more videos about Japan, more live streams, and so much more information coming your way, so make sure to subscribe and press the bell notification. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.